I seen him fight his last fight. He was tired in that 12-round span. Like, you could tell every time he fight, it's always like a gas tank problem or...
Love for anybody. But, you know, Tank is a different animal, too. So, it's a great fight. That's why everybody want to see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he gonna win, or oh, he gonna win. No.
Going there and they very obedient to Tank's power. And Lamont wasn't that night. Lamont wasn't having it.
Shakur Stevenson urges Lamont Roach to rethink facing Gervonta Davis again, calling Davis the best with unmatched strength. He says Tank breaks opponents and won't offer Roach another lucky break. With Davis looking more ripped than ever, Shakur advises Roach to think wisely or suffer real consequences.
I think it'll be a chess match. I think it'll be a boxing match. People talk about his power. His power is great. You can clearly tell that he's cracking.
Shakur Stevenson admits a potential fight with Gervonta Davis would be his toughest yet. He acknowledges Davis's strength, skills, and unpredictability, calling him a serious danger. Shakur understands it won't be easy and respects Davis as a legitimate threat who could really push him to his limits.
What would be your hardest matchup? Devin Haney, Tank, or would it be Ryan Garcia?
Nah, Ryan, just X him out. He's trash. It's gonna be Tank. I ain't said it before, but I'm gonna say it like me and him the big fight.
Gervonta Davis looks more shredded and powerful than ever in fresh training clips, displaying sharp focus and an intense new form. His post, "Somebody is in trouble," builds excitement, hinting he's all in and ready to dominate. Fans are buzzing over what's next in the squared circle. Roy Jones Jr. calls Gervonta Davis a unique animal in the ring. While he notes that the upcoming bout is tough to predict, he still believes Tank's sheer force and talent will stand out. Jones expects Davis to shine and show why he's someone fighters should never underestimate.
Saturday night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach because we've ever seen him a lot. So he gets to show people what he has too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxers amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first few rounds. But when they're in the pro round takeover, we'll find out, has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet? Or is Tank too superior now as a pro? And that's where the difference will come in at.
Roach is coming up on weight. That, you know, a lot of people keep on saying that's a very big disadvantage for Roach. His power might not transfer to, you know, to this weight class. What do you got to say about that to the critics?
Well, I ain't really got nothing to say to the critics because most of the time they don't know the hell they talking about no weight, but I was able to carry my weight from 154 to heavyweight. You know how to do it right, then your weight, your punch will come to you. You don't know how to do it right, then yeah, you're going to lose your punch. So if he's a good, fundamentally sound fighter with a punch, he's going to have a punch at 130 till he's going to have a punch at 140. If he's not really fundamentally that sound, then he won't. That's why Tank is able to jump around. Tank fought between 130 and 140, whatever weight he wants to. Why? Because he's a great fundamental puncher. So his punch can be the same no matter what weight he got on. If you are fundamentally sound, that don't matter. But if you're not fundamentally sound, then yeah, when you move up the weight, you're going to lose your punch.
That's exactly what what I thought you would say. Like, you know, breaking that down and making understand that from 130, 135 to 140, I mean, you got to carry that power with you and how you're going to punch.
If you got fundamentals, you're going to carry it automatically. I took it all with a heavyweight from a junior middleweight.
Gervonta Davis has recently linked up with a new trainer, indicating a different strategy as he trains for the big rematch. This shift proves he's serious, moving away from routine to something sharper. The camp looks more disciplined, boosting stamina and basics. Observers see a new, focused Davis determined to win.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Tevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
Many now agree Davis wasn't himself in the original fight. Whether from distractions or game plan issues, most agree he fell short. Now, with pride at stake, Davis looks ready to fix things. His recent actions show he's aiming to silence every doubt. This time, he wants a win with no asterisk.
So breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown, but ultimately, it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means, and that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots, that's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it at Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. Most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
Boxing analysts and insiders have noted how unusually quiet Davis has been. While Lamont Roach speaks out online and in interviews, Davis keeps a low profile. Experts think this silence is strategic. They believe Davis is training hard in private. With Roach vocal and Davis silent, suspense continues building around this fight.
Oh yeah, so we hearing that they got the fight set and scheduled, and it's going to be in Vegas, and it's going to be this August. So yeah, it's basically just been reported. And I'm not gonna lie, we knew it was gonna happen because they both said they down to do it. They both said they got to do the rematch because it was too close. All I'm gonna say is, I'm hoping that boy Tank, because he been quiet lately. Lamont, you been yapping. Talking about you should have won. You keep dwelling on that little almost close win. That boy Gervonta, that Tank, he been... We ain't never seen Tank in this mode. I will say that Lamont, you're a very skilled fighter. But you should be nervous because we ain't never seen Tank like this. He's quiet. Like, he's literally hushed, bro. You just see him training. And now out of nowhere, he's like, hey, bro, we can set the fight up. That's actually dangerous. That's actually dangerous when you think about it. Like, dude ain't said a word. Even once the fight was over and press, he got the little hat on. He like, yeah, I mean, we could do the rematch. And he said it. I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to train. I'm going to just be quiet and work. Good match to Lamont. I ain't going to lie. If I was Lamont, I'll be a little nervous. You ain't got to be scared, but I will be a little nervous because usually Tank, he the one that's like, yeah, don't bring your moms to the fight. Don't bring your peoples to the fight. Dude been real hush-hush lately. I'm not going to lie, y'all. They said the fight set up for August. I might have to go to this one in person. And August is my birthday month. I might have to go to this one in person, bruh. Because this right here, at this point, they're rivals now. This is like the perfect boxing story. They come from the same side of the the mat. Come from the same gym and camp. I'm not gonna lie, they've been at it since they was kids. This like the perfect boxing story, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, we might have to be in there in person. But like I said, y'all already know how I go. When it come down to it, I'm putting my money on my boy Tank. Lamont, you definitely are skilled, and I'm going into this fight knowing that basically I know you gonna put up a good one. But I got my money on Tank. We ain't never seen Tank like this, bro. Dude quiet, and he ain't saying nothing. The fight just got booked. Oh, yeah.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't sugarcoat things in his comments, calling the rematch a must-win for both sides. According to him, no clear favorite exists, and both must perform perfectly. He warned that even a minor mistake could ruin Davis's chances. Hackett stressed intensity and focus. No space for mistakes or ego now.
It's rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, training with this person, training with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they very obedient to Tank's power, and Lamont wasn't that night. Lamont wasn't having it. And he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all tripping. Y'all must be really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking the knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused Tank Davis. Because if he's not the most focused, then he gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night, and you can't play about it. And you gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for, and he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
Former champion Mikey Garcia shared a thoughtful perspective on the fight, noting that Davis usually learns from errors and should come better prepared. Garcia praised his ring IQ, but warned none of it matters without mental clarity. He even stated Davis shouldn't fight at all if he's not 100% focused mentally.
Then hopefully, I'd like to see it.
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments, and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and then he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, and maybe they get a third fight, after that. Who knows? Maybe
it turns out Marcus Pacquiao.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight. Shit, he'll get a third fight.
Right. Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that edge?
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. And if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're...
It seems like a lot of fighters going through stuff and they get in the ring.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him do it, let him do it. I don't know.
Kenny Ellis, a longtime Davis coach, responded to Roach's training clips. He acknowledged Roach's effort, but emphasized that gym work isn't the same as real combat. Ellis said Davis's fights test more than fitness. They demand grit, adaptability, and heart. To Ellis, inner drive outweighs flashy workouts or routine discipline.
You see a different Lamont Roach coming into this fight?
No, I don't. I tell people all the time, no offense, this is not a Lamont Roach, but a fighter can do everything in the gym, man. They can do their push-ups, their pull-ups, they can run 10 miles a day, they can eat their diet, they can change their diet, they can do everything right, but it have to be in your DNA to take pain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing and able to take the pain that come with this shit? That's for any fight.
Right.
And that's the difference in a lot of the fights. You gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it.
Now,
in the actual fight, not the training, in the actual fight.
In the actual fight. What's the difference between, the pain inside the gym gearing up to the fight versus the lights and being on Showtime?
No, the workout pain, muscle sore, fatigue, that's different, but
it prepares you for those lights.
But that pain in the actual fight, man, when shit get rattled, your eggs get scrambled, your eyes get blurry, fucking mouth and nose gets fucked up. A little bit of everything, body shots. You just gotta be willing to take the pain and come with it. Getting your equilibrium every other round.
Since the controversial ending of the first matchup, fans haven't stopped arguing over who deserved the win. Some think Roach edged it. Others say Davis still had the advantage. Now the rematch promises clarity. Both men are out to prove something. The audience just wants one undisputed winner. No more gray areas.
I just want to know, when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, you need to be down, period. And Jervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do, y'all. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving him no day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. Not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen, because never know, he might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch, because I don't think this is ever going to be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we got to see it.
This rematch brings even greater stakes for Gervonta Davis. A second defeat, especially with no clear excuse, could hurt his standing. 1 loss can be forgiven, but 2 might spark legacy doubts. Fans and critics may question his place among greats. Davis must deliver now. This fight could define his future.
Is the rematch happening or what? Because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate, because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament on who y'all think really won, who y'all think should have won, who y'all think didn't win. This is probably one of the biggest debates that will never be solved. Well, they put up a good fight, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half, so what the fuck? It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. So hard to even say that though, because you just see so much demolishment from one, and then for it to flip to the other, and it just had your mind like, what? Just really had your mind blown. Like, what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision on the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely went off of just a personal opinion of the person, a history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, although Tank did really show him something at the second half, I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him. He stuck with him the whole 12. If you know anything about boxing, especially boxing a motherfucker like Tank, you know that it's a flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it is to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him, as ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. This should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. Now I know these two got vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch this shit again.
Kenny Ellis has hinted at big shifts inside Tank's camp ahead of the rematch. While staying vague, his words suggest something unusual is happening. Ellis insists this fight will differ from the first, building mystery. Whatever's going on, they believe it matters. Davis's new coach and intense prep raise expectations.
What do you see?
Both of them, like I said, they both at, top of the game. I see a competitive fight. Nice, clean, crispy shots, like the first fight, Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't speak on what I seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.